Hello guys, and welcome back to another Satisfactory guide. Now if you do find these guides helpful, please help me out by dropping a thumbs up, and obviously if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. Now in today's video we're covering how to make automated wiring, but for those of you who want a guide on articulated frames, have no fear, we will be covering them soon. Now on the subject of automated wiring, we're going to need a total of 120 copper ingots and 22.5 steel ingots per minute in order to create this particular recipe. So, jumping straight in order for us to create 5 automated wiring per minute, to start off we're going to need a foundry, 3 smelters, 11 constructors and 3 assemblers. Now the foundry will be creating steel, which will then run to a single constructor to create steel pipes. Now do note that we have now unlocked underclocking, having thus researched it in the MAM, and thus we will be underclocking this particular constructor to 75% clock speed to create 15 pipes per minute, and then going on to feed the first assembler to manufacture stators. Now this will allow us to create the stators at 100% resource efficiency, providing we also accommodate the 40 copper wire per minute. Now this is where the first smelter comes in, which will be underclocked to 66%, creating almost perfectly 20 copper ingots per minute. Now this will then be split between the next 2 constructors, which will both be underclocked by 60% as well, and this allows for an easy split. Also note that we are not overclocking, and the reason for this is that overclocking consumes exponentially more energy to increase the production, whereas underclocking uses an exponential decay in power usage. So it's better, especially in the early game when we're struggling for power, to underclock than to overclock. Now these 2 constructors will then merge and join the assembler, creating stators. Now from the stator production we will split the line into 2, both heading to 2 more assemblers to create the automated wiring. With this in mind, we will also start the next line of smelters. Here we have 2 smelters, each feeding into 2 separate constructors, so a total of 4 constructors, creating wire at 100% clock speed. Of these wire constructors, they will then go on to another 4 constructors to create cables. At this point, do note that I am load balancing, as I currently do not have any other plants dedicated to cabling. Therefore, what we need to do is merge all 4 cable constructors together, then split them 3 ways, creating a 40 split between the 3. We will then merge 2 of these lines together to create a 80 to 40 split, and then with the final 40 split, we will split it again into 2 lines of 20. One will be feeding into a container separately for myself, and then the second will merge back in with the other cables to create 100 cables per minute, which will then be used by the 2 assemblers. Now if this isn't what you want to do, which is perfectly fine, then what you can do is underclock each of the constructors and smelters to 83% clock speed, which will create 99.6 cables per minute, which is just shy of the 100 that we need per minute. Now these can then be merged into the final assemblers, by which point we will be creating 5 automated wire per minute, which will then be ready for the space elevator. The one last thing to say about this is if you are running over 60 items on a belt, or even more than 120, you do need to make sure that you're using the right conveyor for the job. So if it's 60 or less, use the Mark 1. If it's under 120, use the Mark 2. If it's under 270 items per minute, then make sure you're using the Mark 3. So there you are guys, this was just a really quick and simple guide to building the smart cabling for the space elevator. Now we will be covering the articulated frames shortly, so if you do enjoy these videos, do make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to click that thumbs up button if you are finding these helpful. And one last thing to say is we do run an awesome Discord community for like-minded Satisfactory gamers, so if you do want to join them, make sure to check out the Discord, the link is below. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always, until next time, ciao for now.